What if I told you that the story of the greatest hero ever to walk the earth was told over 4,000 years ago? A king, part God, part man, who defied the gods themselves. His name echoed through the ages, inspiring legends and shaping the fate of humanity. His journey was one of love, loss, and the quest for immortality. He was Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. But do you know the truth behind his epic tale? Prepare yourself, for what you are about to witness is not just a legend. It's the very foundation of heroism, written in stone, where gods, men, and monsters collide. Gilgamesh was the fifth king of the Sumerian city of Uruk, an extraordinary ruler who commanded the power of both kingship and divine blood. But he was no ordinary king. He was a hero so mighty, so unyielding, that his name would resonate for millennia. He was 2/3 divine and 1/3 human, destined for greatness but cursed with arrogance. Yet, even heroes have flaws. Gilgamesh, in his youthful arrogance, abused his power. His people cried out in despair. His tyranny was relentless, his ego unchecked, and his rule a nightmare for the people of Uruk. The gods heard the people's cries, and in their wisdom, they created Enkidu, a wild man, a force of nature, to balance Gilgamesh's strength. Wild and untamed, Enkidu was a force as mighty as Gilgamesh himself. But this wasn't just a clash of power. It was the beginning of an unbreakable bond. Enkidu, created by the goddess Aruru, who molded him from clay, was born in the wilds of Mesopotamia, roamed free, until the moment he encountered a temple prostitute named Shamat. She tamed him, brought him into civilization, and led him to the great city of Uruk. Enkidu, though fierce and powerful, now had a purpose, and that purpose led him straight to the king. Their first meeting was nothing short of legendary. A battle between titans, Gilgamesh, with his divine strength, and Enkidu, the wild man who had come to challenge him. Their battle was one for the ages, each blow echoing like thunder across the city. But in the end, there was no victor. Instead, something unexpected happened. As their fists stopped flying and their breath slowed, they found something deeper than rivalry, a bond of brotherhood. Together, they became an unstoppable force. The king and the wild man, two halves of a whole, united in their pursuit of glory and adventure. They were to face monstrous foes, conquer the impossible, and most importantly, discover the meaning of life itself. It was then that Gilgamesh, yearning for fame and immortality, set his eyes on the Humbaba, the guardian of the cedar forest, a terrifying monster who was said to be invincible. With Enkidu by his side, Gilgamesh was determined to prove his worth, to carve his name into the eternal sands of time. The battle was brutal. Humbaba, the ancient guardian, howled with rage as the two heroes fought. But together, Gilgamesh and Enkidu were unstoppable. With a final strike, they felled the beast. The gods were angered, but the heroes were victorious, their names forever etched in history. But victory came at a terrible cost. The gods, in their fury, cursed Enkidu, sentencing him to death. And just like that, Gilgamesh's brother, his closest friend, was gone. This loss shattered Gilgamesh. For the first time, the king of heroes was forced to face his own mortality. His quest for immortality grew all the more desperate. Would his name be forgotten, like the countless others before him? Or could he find a way to escape death's inevitable grip? Gilgamesh's journey took him to the ends of the earth, seeking Utnapishtim, the immortal survivor of a great flood, in hopes of learning the secret to eternal life. He crossed mountains, battled fierce beasts, and finally reached the land of the gods. But the secret he sought would not come easily. Utnapishtim revealed the truth. Immortality was not a gift for mortals. It was a gift given to the gods alone. No matter how mighty, no matter how heroic, death would come for everyone. But in the end, it was not immortality that mattered. It was how you lived. Gilgamesh had sought glory, but he had also forged a legacy in his quest, a legacy of courage, brotherhood, and the willingness to face the unknown. Gilgamesh returned to his people, no longer seeking immortality. He had built a legacy that would last forever, not in the form of eternal life, but in the form of the walls of Uruk, his great city, and in the hearts of the people he had once ruled with an iron fist. Gilgamesh, the king of heroes, was not just a man who sought fame. He was a man who sought meaning. In his quest for immortality, he discovered that the truest legacy was not to live forever, but to live fully. And so Gilgamesh's story continues, a tale for the ages, unfolding through the sands of time.